G'day. This is going to be a response to Fraser's video about the secateurs I got recently. Hopefully something of a more, in-depth kind of a review that's going to give you a better idea of the capabilities of the machine. These are the beasties. It's about size a lot of the time. When you're going into a bush with your hand, if you've got a really big object, it might be convenient for the leverage you're going to get when it comes to cutting it, but it's inconvenient for getting into the bush. So the fact that they're quite small is actually an advantage. When you're squeezing with them, right, the Garten RS 2500s, there's no way that you can get finger pinch. You know what finger pinch is? You squeeze quite hard if you've got a strong grip. You squeeze quite hard. Imagine these two bits here, like I've got some secateurs that do finger pinch. They come in like that, you can literally break a nail off with the way it squeezes. These don't do that, they're quite well designed. They've got a flat anvil and straight blade format, which is my personal favourite. Some people say the straight blade format can cause a branch to kind of squeeze out, but it's so much easier to sharpen a straight blade, and they do have to be kept razor sharp. You can use them to trim hair, but they trim and cut through larger and thicker rope-like objects with greater facility than thinner ones. It's just the nature of the thing. You can't really see that because there's no lighting. I didn't bother setting it up, this is just, an off the hoof kind of a response to Fraser's thing. Another advantage I've found with them, as you can see, I've got an amplifier, and I have stuff like speaker cabling and what have you. So imagine I've got an old bit of speaker cabling. I'll just set this up here. Whoopsie daisy. Right. So when you want to get a new bit out of wire, you just squeeze very gently all around. You just go pop, and it does it easy and as primo-ly as any dedicated tool. But it's just secateurs. They're quite good for that as well. I did give my friend Josh a haircut the other day. He's got nice thick luxurious hair, so it's quite a good tool for it. But someone with hair a bit more like mine, it's not ideal because, as I said, they cut better bunches. Of course, Fraser mentioned the clipping mechanism. The facility with which this is operated is extreme, I have to say. The clipping mechanism, which is important. If you've got to operate it with two hands, you end up wasting a lot of time. Like maybe you've got a blower and a bag of grass in that hand, say, and you just want to finish a little tidy up you did before, and there's just one little thing sticking out. It's the last 1% of work that you do that gives like the last 20% of perceived value to the customer. That's what I find anyway. As for taking them apart, you need a star drive, two different sizes of star drives. The aluminium anvil part is removable. It holds an edge like nothing. It holds an edge really well. If you've got a star drive in your van like I do, you just can take this bit here off, and the sharpening is very easy if you're good at sharpening straight blades. And as I said, I don't know what type of material it's made out of, but it holds an edge as good as anything I've ever used, which is saying something. They're quite pricey, about 50 to 60 bucks in New Zealand, but nonetheless, I think if you seriously like trim bushes on a daily basis, they're pretty good. Not ideal for flax. They cut through the flax just fine, but because the blades are relatively short, which is a good thing because it prevents you from, or it prevents anyone who's maybe not thinking straight from trying to cut something that's too big and snapping the blade, because that's what can happen with these. I've had a pair of a similar design, not the same model. They were probably made in the 50s, and I snapped the blade just from trying to cut too big objects. But for flax, if they had longer blades, you'd be able to cut through flax bushes real neatly and have a free hand to grab the flax and take it away. Like at the moment I use my hedge clippers to cut through flax, and they cut through it quite well, but they need two hands to operate, so it just means I make more of a mess when I'm cutting it up, so it's a little bit less time efficient, which really matters for a guy like me. Yeah, I've also used them for carving a little bit, which is quite good. Nostril hair removable. They're not really good for that, but you can do it. And yeah, I mean that cut the hair off, but as I said before, when it's just one or two hairs, it's not really the most convenient. Alright, well I think that's about it. They're a single action. I've got a pair of lever double action secateurs as well, which will cut through a branch, maybe not even thicker really. I prefer these ones. If you've got a strong grip, they're really good for up to quite a big branch. And what you do, right, you can just like stick them on there and you squeeze a bit. You don't have to squeeze too hard, and then you gently turn it this way and this way and this way and this way without twisting. Twist it, that's when you risk breaking it. They are quite tough though. Relatively light as well, and they fit in a normal sized pocket, which is important. Right, well, that's about that.